Hi, this is Richard C. I'm a math tutor here at Wyzant, answering a question submitted by a student. This has to do with the polynomial, and it's important to recognize that this is just a third degree polynomial. We're going to FOIL this out in a minute or two, and you'll see it's a third degree polynomial because it's x times x times x, which is x cubed. And all polynomials are differentiable and continuous on the real number line, so there's no reason to worry about whether this is something that will or will not satisfy the conditions for Rolle's theorem. It most certainly will. So I'd like to start with this one, the way I work with most problems is I like to start with a sketch of some kind. So let's just do a quick sketch here on the number line. We know it's going to have zeros. I'm going to put in 0. I always like to put in a 0 because it gives me an anchor point for the graph. So it's 4, 6, and 7. It's going to go through 0. The function will be equal to 0 here, here, and here. And we know that the leading coefficient is going to be positive 1, and it's x cubed, which means it's going to go low to high. And we know this from our rules for end behavior. Hopefully you remember that from Algebra 2. So it's going to go low to high here. And we can't know exactly the shape of this curve, but it's going to look something like that, going low to high. So you can see from this rough sketch that there's going to be a relative minimum here, maximum here, and a relative minimum here. So between 4 and 7, there'll be 2 points here where the first derivative should be 0. But we need to find them. So we have to find that exact point and that exact point there. So we'll start by rewriting f of x. I'll do that here. So f of x, I'm going to start by just FOILing this out. So I'm going to just carry that x minus 4 here. And then from the rest of this, you're going to get x squared. 7 and 6 is 13. Sorry, it's kind of sloppy. 13. And then, plus 42. And then I'll just do it one more time. I'll distribute the x first. So this is going to give me x cubed minus 13 x squared. And let's see, 4 times 42. It's 168, so negative. I'm sorry, it's just 42x, excuse me. Got ahead of myself there. Okay, so distributing the x, you just get x cubed minus 13x squared plus 42x. Now I'm going to distribute the negative 4. So this is going to give me negative 4x squared. And then plus 52x. And then minus 168. And we'll put this all together. So f of x, just combine like terms. X cubed minus 17x squared. It's 94. Minus 168. So now we'll take f prime of x and set that to 0. So f prime of x is going to be 3x squared, 17 times 2 is 34, minus 34x plus 94. Okay, so that's going to be our f prime of x. And we set that to 0. And I have a funny feeling that this isn't going to factor, but let's give it a try. So we need factors of 94. I'll just do my factoring diagram here. So this is negative 34, and then 3 times 94. So I'm using the AC method for factoring. Hopefully you're familiar with that. So A times C is 282. Okay, I think I'm going to use that method rather than try to hunt and peck around here. Okay. Let's see now, 282. Okay, that's 6 times 47. And not quite what we want. Yeah, this isn't going to factor. So what you'll have to do here to get these turning points is we'll have to use quadratic formula. So this is 34 squared minus 12 times 94 all over 6. So you can do all that by hand. I'm going to just go back here and upload a graph, and we can find the exact answer that way. I think it's better to just use it. If you're not allowed to use a calculator, then you'll just have to use quadratic formula. So here's the graph. And let me just shrink it down so you can see it. Need a little bit more, don't we? Well, hold it. Let's see. We want it between 4. Here's 4 and 7. Yeah. So we're looking for these 2 points here. And I'm just going to go back to the calculator and ask it for those 2 points. So this first one is 4.785, comma 2113. Okay, I'm going to put them here. 4.785, comma 2.113. That's 1 point. And then the other one is going to be this guy here, which is 6.549, comma negative 0.631. So the teacher wasn't being very nice here in terms of giving us something that we could do easily by hand. You can see that this is 4, this is 5 here. So the answer is almost 5. You can see it's a little to the left of 5 and a little above 2. So that makes sense here. And if you see 6.5, this would be 7 here. So 6.5 would be right here. So that seems about right. And then negative 0.6. So this is negative 1 here. So that seems, and this would be negative 0.5. So that looks like a negative 6. Or 0.6 rather. So that's the way to do it. I couldn't factor it, unfortunately. And you can see from the answers from the calculator that this does not factor. And you would, to do it by hand, you would just use quadratic formula. The problem is that they want comma separated list. I guess what they're after is 4.785 x would equal, maybe this is what they want, 6.549. Okay, so that'll do it. So it's not that difficult, just kind of a nuisance. Hope that was helpful to you, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.